Fair warning, some game developers want to make you cry. They redraft their stories and tweak their cutscenes to deliver the maximum emotional payload, then run away with your tears in a vial. Bunch of sadists if you ask us. We're going to name and shame the biggest culprits for you now, so that you can give their games a wide berth, or perhaps head straight towards them, because now and again, it doesn't hurt to empty the old tear ducts. Doctors recommend it, probably. You can't wipe your tears with a Pro X60 gaming keyboard that has key control customization and lightspeed connectivity, but it definitely doesn't hurt either. Let's begin with the most obvious candidate. Since The Last of Us launched a decade ago, sea levels have risen by a few millimeters every single year. We're no experts, but we suspect it's down to the sheer volume of gamer tears shed all over the world. The Last of Us opens with the loss of Joel's daughter as a nightmarish fungal infection throws the world into chaos. Then it skips forward 20 years to the moment Joel takes responsibility for Ellie, another young girl who might just be the key to ending the outbreak.
Do you even realize what your life means? Huh?
The rest of the game is the story of how Joel learns to love again, and the terrible consequences that love has for everyone around him.
I struggled for a long time with surviving.
Ever since the enormous success of The Last of Us, PlayStation has doubled down on emotionally driven adventures featuring father and child relationships. Death Stranding is by far the strongest twist on that formula, starring a delivery man called Sam and a fetus in a jar named Lou. Lou is a bridge baby, an essential tool for detecting deadly ghosts, or BTs, while crossing the devastated United States. Sam is forbidden from forming a connection with Lou, but inevitably he does, developing gruff paternal feelings for the giggling weirdo on his belt.
It's all good, it's all good.
And guess what? You're going to end up caring about both of them too. It's hard not to when you only have each other for company.
That's because we're partners.
So it seems a bond between two troubled characters is a shortcut to waterworks. In this co-op adventure, however, that bond is fraying. At the beginning of It Takes Two, protagonists Cody and May are planning a divorce. But when they break the news to their daughter, her tears cast a spell, trapping her parents in the bodies of two dolls.
Oh, now what?
Only by working together can Cody and May survive the supersized threats of their own home, and ultimately repair their relationship. It might sound a bit cheesy, but It Takes Two delivers the goods by delving into real, grown-up selfishness and guilt before letting you emerge on the other side.
You used to love that underwear.
Used to.
For a very different family story, try Venba. It's a bite-sized game about an Indian couple who moved to Canada and struggled to fit in while raising a son. There's painful tension here. The parents can never quite assimilate and be accepted by their neighbours, but the child is all too eager to leave his Indian roots behind. As the boy thrives, his mum and dad retreat further into their cultural isolation. But the distance between them is bridged by cooking, and the family recipes you get to grips with over the course of the game. Nothing brings back memories better than the taste and smell of childhood. Where Venba begins in 1988, Valiant Hearts goes all the way back to the First World War. It focuses on characters separated by the conflict, like Carl, who is cut off from his wife and son and drafted into the German army. Meanwhile, his father-in-law Emile joins the French army, on the opposing side. Thankfully, Valiant Hearts doesn't lean into the misery. Its characters are able to help one another, and the friendly comic book style and musical sequences help to keep things light. But it doesn't pull its punches either. This is a true-to-life portrait of war, which often splits families right down the middle as borders are locked down. Released in the same year as Valiant Hearts, this War of Mine also took an innovative approach to the portrayal of conflict. But rather than focus on soldiers, it looks exclusively at the lives of civilians under siege. This is a management game in the style of The Sims, in which the people you control are living on the edge of starvation. Rather than struggling to get your dream job or upgrade your kitchen, you're boarding up the holes in the walls to keep out the freezing cold. This War of Mine is often a deeply upsetting experience that opens your eyes to the reality of survival in the bleakest of times. But thanks to the compelling management loop at its core, it's also incredibly hard to put down. Finally, let's take a step back from international warfare and embrace the personal instead. Celeste is a brutal platformer in the style of Super Meat Boy and Rayman, but it's also a powerful metaphor for anxiety. Your journey up Celeste Mountain mimics the protagonist's battle with herself, a crippling self-doubt that threatens to pull her down like gravity. Let's be honest, if you play games about monster hunting or murder on the battlefield, you probably haven't found a lot to relate to, but Celeste's subject is acutely familiar to many of its players, and for that reason, it connects emotionally in a way few games do. There we have it. you've got your starter kit of games to make you cry. All you need now is a box of tissues and some kind of waterproof environment to play in, like a bath or shower room. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop us a like. And don't forget that Logitech G is here to fulfill all your gaming needs. Just subscribe and hit the bell to make sure you're notified about every new upload. We'll see you next time.
Do you think the grown-ups could talk for a minute?